Hi guys, meteorologist Lindsey Slater here. So we are in for a warm up this week. I'm kind of highlighting right here. If you look towards the temperature map, we have a nice increase in those temperatures. We're getting into those 40s for much of this week. Then it drops as we head to the weekend. You can see those highs going down over the weekend, back to those 20s, and even some snow chances by the weekend. This week, we are warm enough to where we actually have rain chances in the forecast. I'm not even tracking much in the way of snow, maybe some rumbles of thunder. So I do want to show you the latest on H trip here as we look at our weather models. So going into tomorrow, I'm going to actually load the 12Z. That's the newest one here. So tonight we could see some mixing going on. This is mainly going to be like Oshkosh, Appleton area, but there's a big meaty area of low pressure right here. And that area of low pressure, I'm going to move myself over because this is bothering me. There we go. So as we look at this area of low pressure right here, this is happening at 9 p.m. That's a pretty beefy low, as you can see here. And that's going to roll through and bring us some chances of rain in the forecast. We'll likely have this for the morning rush. Then we get breaks, and then we get more of this activity starting to come in. It's much lighter at that point. Maybe even a little bit of mixing going into overnight Wednesday. I'm not too worried about this because our temperatures are still pretty mild. While the freezing line shows down here, I just feel like we're a little bit too mild. And if I go to the surface temperatures, we're still in those mid 30s. So I'm not that worried about any issues when it comes to like issues out on the roads or anything. So it's mainly on and off rain showers going into Tuesday. Now I want to show you the GFS. We're pretty good and pretty mild for January standards. We're getting into those 40s. Look at that, 40s. Look at down in areas south of Chicago in the 50s. So yeah, a pretty mild stretch for us. You can see there's one of those lows that's moving through. This is going into Friday. That's when everything changes. Based on the trajectory of this area of low pressure, we lose our 40s. I think maybe Thursday would be the best day. We have a chance of a 50-degree temperature, but this low means business because look what's ahead of it. Cold air. So what does that mean when it comes to, precip? Well, this one's going to bring us more rain. So we have rain Tuesday, more rain Thursday night into Friday. This is basically Thursday night. Here's Friday, a little bit of mixing going on the backside of that low, we could see a resurgence of activity. And at this point, we are cold enough to where this would actually be some snow showers. Depending on how this low evolves. So you get rid of one low. I'm going backwards in time. Here's the low number one. Backside of the low, get a little bit of activity. Now we track the second low right here, and it deepens right over Milwaukee. So this is something we're definitely going to have to be watching. This is now the second weather model. I'm waiting for the 12Z to come in where I've seen this kind of activity. The European model wants to give us some snow over the weekend, but it has the low way up high. It has it much more further north. So that's really what I'm watching this week are those two options. We warm up. We have two different chances of rain in the forecast and potentially some snow as well as we go into the weekend. So make sure that you stay tuned to all of our updates because as we get closer to each event, we get more data. Therefore, more information goes into the weather models with more consistent parameters that gives us a better idea on what's going to happen. Because as I've mentioned before, the further out you go in weather models, the worse it gets. Because if there's a problem with the initiation of that weather model or it incorrectly predicts something, that just gets extrapolated and exponentially wrong the further out you go. This is why I always tell you a 3-day forecast is your best forecast. So as we go into the weekend, I'll be monitoring those chances for snow in the forecast. But otherwise, I'm actually off on Tuesday, but I'll be back on Wednesday and I will have the newest update coming up then.